How bad was it?
That's what I care about. I care about the victims.
No, I understand. How bad was it, you think? What was going on?
I'm going to tell you right now that me, as a woman who has been in the industry for over 30 years, I've been performing live since I was 13. My first handler was McKinley Horton. I come to find out 25 years later that a scar that was on his face with a very elaborate story he gave me was put there by a woman to live through these things and hear your elders in the business, people like Patti LaBelle say, just avoid him, honey. And being taught to be just avoid him, honey. It's not good enough. Not when you live through these things, you're still suffering the PTSD created by all of this, and you're talking to a victim that's 20 years younger than you, and she's telling you the exact same thing that happened to you. So you want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Julian would have been 11 years old today, but in 2008, he was, along with Jennifer Hudson's mother.
Have you forgiven him?
Yes. We tried to offer love.
When I saw that audition for that movie part, I saw a depth and a range and a soulfulness that really ranks at the top.
I know that if your mouth is really, really big and you try to tell the truth for a living and you like to air people out, hatred is coming your way. I didn't know it was going to be this type of hatred, but, you know, I'm concrete in all things because of he who strengthens me. So that doesn't mean I always make the right decisions, but I am going to stand by what I stand for. And I'm only continuing to do it because I was looking for somebody who was doing it instead of me. And I just must have missed.
But you know, that's how they do in LA. That's why I never moved there. I do business there. I will go there and do business. I will go there and get money if I need to. But I can't live there. It's godless. It's a godless place. City is titled. It's named Los Angeles. That means lost angels.
One of Hollywood's biggest performers, Jennifer Hudson is renowned for her strong voice and innovative accomplishments. She went from singing in church choirs in Chicago to winning an EGOT, something that very few performers have ever done. She is seen by the public as the epitome of grace, talent, and tenacity. However, a new tension is arising as events surrounding some of the most influential people in the business unravel, including the bombshell news of Diddy's alleged covert release from government oversight. Two of the most outspoken truth-tellers in the business, Katt and Jaguar Wright, have been launching constant attacks on Hollywood's inner circles. Additionally, rumors about these discussions have somehow included Jennifer Hudson's name. Why would a celebrity like Jennifer? What connection does this have to one of the most significant controversies roiling the entertainment industry at the moment? Let us dissect.
How are you? Wonderful. How are you doing? How are you? I'm great. I mean, you and Common make the cutest couple ever.
Thank you.
What do you most like about the guy? So, you know, we see you in Common, you know, on vacation. Could we see maybe a possible collab? Music, your voice, his voice together? I mean, it could make magic.
I like how you slipped some vacation. Really? Okay, I don't know about that part. But, I don't know, it'd be dope to see two Chicagoans together, but I don't know about that.
How come? I mean, it could be awesome.
It could be. You're right about that.
And you can't confirm if we in a relationship or not because the rumors are talking maybe.
Rumors say a lot of things. But he's a beautiful man, I will give you that.
All right, well,
that's
thank you.
certain.
I'm a host, and so I have to ask you this question because everybody always want to know this. Are you dating anyone?
So, yes, and I'm in a relationship that is with one of the most beautiful people I ever met in life. And she's smart, she loves God, she has something real down to earth about her. She's talented, but I set my standard kind of high because she had to have an EGOT. She had to win an Oscar on her first movie. I set my standard high. She had to get her own talk show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so what about you though? How is your love life?
I'm dating as well, and I am very happy. Are you happy in your relationship?
Yes, this relationship is a happy place. For me, it's like...
I love that you use the word happy place.
No, but seriously, it's like, for me, it's one of those things where I found where I can... Seeing her happy actually makes me really happy. So I'm very grateful. I thank God each and every day, and I'm just letting God guide this relationship.
God is in it, right?
God is in it.
That's right. Listen. Okay, this is the happy place. And we
speak on it.
She the one you say.
Speak on it.
I heard that.
Speak on it.
But here at the happy place, we like to respect people's privacy, so I'm not gonna ask you too many more questions about that.
Yeah.
But you know, everybody wanna know, so I had to. Ms. Hudson had to get into that thing.
We keep it private, but I want to acknowledge how wonderful she is, how great she is. So that's good.
Yes, I feel that same way about my partner.
Okay.
The rise of Jennifer Hudson is truly legendary. She sang in Chicago as a shy young girl before winning over millions of fans on American Idol in 2004. Despite losing, her personality and voice made her a household name. She is one of the few to obtain EGOT status and has won numerous Grammys, Oscars, Tony Awards, and Emmys over the years. She has starred in Broadway shows, performed for presidents, and gained recognition in television, music, and movies. However, beneath this dazzling picture comes a tale of both sorrow and victory. Jennifer has experienced terrible personal tragedy, as well as a field characterized by fierce rivalry and covert politics. She is described as cautious, strategic, and very quiet by those who have worked closely with her. In an industry where one bad connection may ruin everything, this is a survival tactic.
Come on, man. Y'all can't see through this stuff. I bet you any amount of money, if y'all let Uncle Mike pick through all this crap, I bet you I can do a better job than the court systems. There's so many innocent people in jail. That's just my opinion, baby. That's all. My bad.
Gordon, while confirming the lack of Balfour's DNA, explained that this didn't necessarily exonerate him. She clarified that individuals shed skin cells at different rates, and the use of gloves could prevent DNA transfer altogether. This testimony aimed to neutralize the defense's argument regarding the lack of DNA evidence, suggesting that its absence wasn't conclusive proof of Balfour's innocence. The presence of gunshot residue in Balfour's vehicle, combined with the explanation regarding the complexities of DNA transfer, presented a nuanced picture for the jury to consider. Following a trial filled with emotional testimony and complex forensic evidence, the jury embarked on their deliberations. After 18 hours of careful consideration, they reached a verdict: guilty. William Balfour was found guilty on 3 counts of first-degree for the deaths of Darnell Donnerson, Jason Hudson, and Julian King, as well as several other related charges. The verdict brought a sense of closure, albeit a bittersweet one, to the long and agonizing ordeal for the Hudson family. Post-verdict interviews with jurors shed light on their deliberative process. They revealed a methodical approach, first assessing the credibility of each witness before constructing a detailed timeline of the crime. This timeline was then compared against the alibi presented by Balfour's defense team, revealing inconsistencies and ultimately undermining his claims of innocence among the jurors. However, as juror Tracy Austin explained to reporters, "Some of us tried our best to make him innocent, but the facts just weren't there." This statement underscored the weight of the evidence presented and the jury's commitment to reaching a verdict based on the facts, despite the emotional gravity of the case. Prior to receiving his sentence, William Balfour was given the opportunity to address the court. In a brief statement, he offered condolences to the grieving Hudson family while continuing to assert his innocence. "My deepest prayers go out to Julian King," Balfour stated, adding, "I loved him. I still love him. I'm innocent, Your Honor." This final plea of innocence, despite the jury's verdict, underscored his unwavering denial of responsibility for the horrific crime. However, under Illinois law, the multiple convictions carried a mandatory sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. The state's legal framework, which prohibits capital punishment under any circumstances, left no room for judicial discretion in determining the length of Balfour's sentence. Judge Charles Burns, in delivering the sentence, expressed his profound condemnation of Balfour's actions. "You have the heart of an Arctic night," Burns stated, adding, "Your soul is as barren as dark space." These powerful words reflected the judge's assessment of the gravity of the crimes and the profound impact they had on the Hudson family and the community. With that, William Balfour was sentenced to life in prison without parole, bringing a final legal chapter to the tragic saga of the Hudson family. The emotional weight of the trial was palpable, particularly for Jennifer Hudson, who attended every single day of the 11-day proceedings. As the jury foreman read the guilty verdict, Hudson sobbed openly, finding solace in the embrace of her fiancé. The verdict marked the culmination of a long and arduous journey for the Hudson family, a journey marked by unimaginable grief and the relentless pursuit of justice. Following the verdict, Jennifer and her sister Julia released a joint statement expressing their gratitude for the outpouring of support they had received. "We have felt the love and support from people all over the world, and we're very grateful," the statement read. In a remarkable display of grace and compassion, the sisters also extended their prayers to the Balfour family, acknowledging their shared loss. "We want to extend a prayer from the Hudson family to the Balfour family," they stated. "We have all suffered a terrible loss in this tragedy." Furthermore, they expressed their hope for Balfour's eventual redemption, saying they were praying that the Lord will forgive Mr. Balfour of these heinous acts and bring his heart into repentance someday. Years after his conviction, William Balfour broke his silence in a chilling interview with Chuck Gowdy of Bless TV in February 2016. This first public interview since his imprisonment provided a disturbing glimpse into Balfour's unyielding denial of responsibility. He claimed his conviction was the result of a vast conspiracy, implicating the police, witnesses, and even the lawyers involved in the case. He vehemently maintained his innocence, insisting he had no involvement whatsoever in the most unsettling part of the interview came when Goody questioned Balfour about the 7-year-old Julian King.
Now that people like Jaguar Wright and Katt Williams are revealing more about the inner workings of the industry, Jennifer's carefully preserved separation between her private life and public persona is under increasing pressure. Katt Williams is more than just a comedian. He is a disruptor of culture. His interviews and routines have alluded to dubious behind-the-scenes activities for years. He has named names, alluded to shady agreements, and charged influential people with using their position to muzzle dissenting voices.
Shay Shay, yeah. I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. And when I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right? But it was so vicious that I erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs, so that the comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story. I'm gonna tell this, but you know what else I know. So, yeah, I was.
Do you want to tell any of those stories now?
Katt Mission was rekindled by the recent controversy surrounding Diddy's purported release. "You thought it was quiet. You thought it was done?" he asked his viewers during a furious live stream. "No, this is a prelude to the storm. They allow him to walk, but he is not by himself. We are observing them, and they are observing him. That is a warning, not merely amusement." Katt is one of the few voices the business cannot completely ignore because of his reputation for being bold and unexpected. Being pulled into one of Katt's exposés is a nightmarish scenario for someone like Jennifer Hudson, who has made a living by upholding neutrality and respect. Jaguar, a gifted musician in her own right, switched from performing music to exposing what she sees as corrupt and systemic practices in the business. Her remarks regarding Diddy's purported freedom were terrifying. He beat the charges moment. Thus, this is not true. It is a trade. She speaks from her experience and has no significant corporate connections or brand to defend. She poses a threat to the establishment because of this.
So this is Jaguar Wright. If you're not familiar with Jaguar, Jaguar is a legendary soul singer who was once a part of The Roots, sung backup for Jay-Z, not to mention she even had a very popular commercial with Coca-Cola. Jaguar has always been very open about the trauma that she faced during her career, particularly involving celebrities and encounters.
That night,
we went back to his place to watch TV, and I got tired and I went to sleep with all my clothes on. There was no invitation there was no nothing. All I know is the next morning I see the sunlight coming through the window and I feel something poking in my mouth. Okay.
Exactly.
We're not in a relationship.
Yeah.
Do I find you attractive? Absolutely.
Yeah, but there was no under.
Do I got a hip hop crush on you? Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You wrote. I used to love her.
Yeah.
For a female hip hop head who was an MC and a writer?
Yeah.
Of course I'm fan crushing underneath. There's no way, especially at that age in my early 20s. And in that morning, just the whole exchange, me, smack the crap out of his nuts. He jumps back. I get my socks, make sure my socks is on right, get my shoes, and I leave. I wasn't even undressed. That was exactly how that whole thing went.
So for those of you who may be wondering who she's talking about, what I will say is that Jaguar and a few other celebrity females have this person in common. It's your boy Brian. Shout out to Miss Jaguar Wright.
The complete contrast is Jennifer Hudson's career, which is intricately linked to executives, major labels, and entertainment establishments. Jaguar could start a flurry of speculative activity, whether or not it is warranted, if he starts making connections that even remotely connect Jennifer to contentious people or occasions. Perception may quickly obliterate reality in Hollywood. Jennifer Hudson's stated caution did not come at random. Many have been astonished by Sean Diddy Combs' alleged release in spite of numerous ongoing investigations and SEAL cases. For many onlookers, this represents the apparent overriding of accountability by authority.
How bad was
That's
it?
what I care about. I care about the victims.
No, I understand. How bad was it, you think? What was going on?
I'm going to tell you right now that me, as a woman who has been in the industry for over 30 years, I've been performing live since I was 13. My first handler was McKinley Horton. I come to find out 25 years later that a scar that was on his face with a very elaborate story he gave me was put there by a woman to live through these things and hear your elders in the business, people like Patti LaBelle say, just avoid him, honey. And being taught to be just avoid him, honey. It's not good enough. Not when you live through these things, you're still suffering the PTSD created by all of this, and you're talking to a victim that's 20 years younger than you, and she's telling you the exact same thing that happened to you.
So
you want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
This has been framed by Jaguar Wright and Katt Williams as evidence that the system defends itself until it doesn't. Other members of the business might soon find themselves in the spotlight they did not anticipate if Diddy's independence is a part of a bigger trade-off, as Jaguar implies. Over the years, Jennifer Hudson has worked with Diddy at venues next to his empire, including award shows and music industry gatherings. Jennifer's predicament speaks to a larger reality, which is why so many people can relate to it. Silence is not just a virtue in Hollywood, but also a necessity. The unwritten standards of loyalty, prudence, and looking the other way have governed the industry for decades. Talent is not the only factor that determines a career's success or failure. Alignment and silence also have a role.
So Katt Williams recently went on to a podcast with Carmelo Anthony, and he speaks on the viral podcast that he did with Shannon Sharpe at Club Shay Shay. But what I want to show you guys is how he gave credit to God for him having this ability to call people out. He credits God as the person that gives him the authority to call out people in the industry and to make things right. And then he also speaks about how God gave him a lot of money, and now he has a contract with God to give this money out to be a blessing onto other Christians. Okay, now I'm not saying that Katt Williams is a devout Christian. I'm going to get into that a little bit in this video. We're going to talk about his faith and things of that nature. But first, I want to show y'all exactly what he was talking about on this podcast. Okay, so before we hop into this video, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm so that this video can reach more people like yourself. I truly appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and hop in.
Right. Well, I'm saying in my personal business, you can either do the dirt or you can know the dirt. I'm one of the chosen high-ranked know the dirt individuals, right? And so dirt responds as they should when the vacuum walks in. I came to deliver an interview having seen some of my competitors and peers get on that same court and do a performance that involved my name. And so once 6 or 7 of you have made this same violation, it's my job as the king to show up and chastise thee. This is my job. I'm supposed to come in and restore order because that's my position. The fact that it's ignored by the clowns because they all in the same frat, comedically, like, that's all well and good. I don't care nothing about none of that. But the job still needs to be done. And if God lets me know it's a good time for that, that's how I'm going to write it up and deliver it. So I didn't know anything Shannon was going to say. I didn't know what questions he was going to ask. Like there was no conversation. Like,
right.
Yeah.
What was the impetus behind that? Like, what made you say, like you said, like, you basically answered the question already, but what made you say, all right, man, enough is enough? I've heard y'all say this and that and mention my name, or you know what I mean? And it's all false. I got to come up here and set the record straight. Did you go up there with that intention, or was that something that just happened naturally through the conversation?
If there is a God side and the other side, if there are moral things and things that are immoral, if there is this side or that side, it can't be left up to thought process. I'm an enforcer on this side. I'm not only on God's side, I'm active, right? And so comedically, that means that, you know how sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. We traffic in words. I can get up with these words and end your legacy.
We've seen it.
I don't care how long. Right, because if it's built on sand, it just is.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna feel any type of way by exposing your hand. That's how this game works. I don't mean to break your ankles, but if I cross you over, I just did, didn't I?
Let me tell you something, man. Like, the fallout from that interview, it almost felt like prophecy for a lot of people. Like, it was my first time hearing those things.
Yeah.
And I didn't do no Googles or wasn't really in social media or keeping up on any of that stuff. I look at it and be like, it felt like prophecy. Like, as the year went on, things that you said in that interview, headline after headline.
You mean like Diddy going to jail or TD Jakes? Which one?
I mean, it was all there. It was all.
Okay, so he speaks on Diddy going to jail and TD Jakes stepping down as his role as the pastor this year, around the same time that this Diddy situation came out. Now, I remember back when the whole thing first came out, right? We all did a lot of speculation, including myself, made videos that, you know, maybe weren't 100% true, if I can be honest.
Jaguar Wright and Katt Williams are working to destroy that culture. However, the stakes are far higher for celebrities like Jennifer. Years of hard effort can be undone in an instant with one misunderstood remark and one resurfaced link. For this reason, even in the face of upheaval, many celebrities maintain their public neutrality. They know what happens to people who talk too much. This raises the question of why Jaguar or Katt would even allude to Jennifer Hudson's name. Her standing in the industry's hierarchy might hold the key to the solution. In addition to being a singer, Jennifer is a producer, a talk show host, and a cultural icon who has connections to some of the biggest names in movies and music.
So you put your heart and soul into everything. So we gonna get that tea. We gonna get that Tony.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of EGOTs from the South Side, Jennifer Hudson, your girlfriend, how special is that relationship to you?
Oh man, that relationship is one of the greatest blessings and most important things in my life, in my whole journey in life. The friendship, the partnership, the life partnership, just the connection. Man, it's one of those things where you don't know truly like what true partnership and relationship is until you get there. And it took me some time maybe to grow and evolve as a person. And it's like those things you pray for and you don't get them until you're ready. And I think, whatever growing I had to do, it was the divine time in alignment when Jennifer and I started like being interested in each other, because we've been around each other before. We've worked together before or something. But this was the time where we just felt and got to see each other in that way. And yeah, man, I mean, it's inspiring to have somebody who's as talented and just soulful and like gifted and can do all these different things, and is one of the greatest vocalists of all time, and just this pure artist, man. Like, she's a special artist. But then to have someone who, most importantly, when it comes to relationship, is just like, it's like equal yoke. Y'all can be in a room together, and it's just like together, and it's joy, and it's like, or I could be going through something, and it's like I have that encouragement and support, and vice versa. Like, that's what I'm learning more about partnership and love. And like I said, when you get there, you recognize what it is. And I hold up high, and I, God willing, I'll keep praying for that. We just continue to be at our best with each other.
All of us here in Chicago were rooting for you all when we saw that you all confirmed things on her show. It was so beautiful because, with the exception of Michelle and Barack, we don't have a lot of big figures who are both from Chicago or, both primarily raised in Chicago. And so it's a beautiful thing to see. So Chicagoans, we're rooting for you all. We're rooting for you all.
I got to say this, man, it's really dope to actually like have a, be in a relationship with somebody who's from Chicago. Because, I travel all over the world, and, I've been in relationships and met with, been good relationships. I'm not taking away from anything that anybody I've, dated before. But, this Chicago woman is something there like that we like, oh man, it's just, we can relate to certain things that just, we both been through. Well, it could be the smallest of things, like the roll call on GCI that used to happen, or
the birthday call.
Birthday call. That birthday call on GCI, or just Evergreen Plaza. But more than anything, is relating on just values and respect and consideration, and being a good human being, and having a reverence and a pursuing of God is most.
Her accomplishment serves as an example of what the industry hopes to convey: skill, tenacity, and hard work. She is, nevertheless, also a possible emblem because of that. Public trust in the entertainment industry would be shattered if someone like Jennifer were ever accused of knowing too much or belonging to dubious circles. This explains the strength of the fear of being exposed. Few people really comprehend. What comes next then? Will Katt Williams' criticism of Hollywood's elite get worse? Will Jaguar Wright make any other name announcements that take the discussion in unanticipated directions? What does Jennifer Hudson's situation now stand at? Is she already preparing to be hit by the storm? For Jennifer Hudson, the difficulty is not only to remain relevant, but also to avoid being harmed in a society where lies can be used just as easily as the truth. Do you believe that Jennifer is just a spectator to this drama that is playing out? Or does her silence indicate that this is a more complex narrative than we may have thought? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. For more material like this, remember to like and subscribe. Keep it genuine, family. Till then.